While Democrats are looking to flip Virginia's governor seat blue next month, Republicans are hoping they can flip New Jersey's governor seat red. Both races are going to be closely watched as possible bellwethers for the 2026 midterms, and former President Obama just endorsed the Democratic candidates in both states. Take a look.
Mikie's integrity, grit, and commitment to service are what we need right now in our leaders. Mikie Sherrill is the right choice for your next governor, and I am proud to endorse Abigail Spanberger for governor. Republican policies are raising costs on working families so billionaires can get massive tax cuts. As governor, Abigail will stand up for Virginia families. She'll work to build an economy that works for everyone.
Meanwhile, a new poll shows it's an increasingly close race in New Jersey, with the Democrat ahead by just 4 points among registered voters, which is within the poll's margin of error. Joining me now is our panel, political reporter Rhonda Colvin, Michael LaRosa, former press secretary for First Lady Jill Biden, and Rob Bluey, president and executive editor of the Daily Signal. Thanks to all of you for being here. So, Rhonda, let's start with you. This New Jersey race shaping up to be much closer than anticipated between Mikie Sherrill, Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican. What are you watching for here, and why did this get so tight?
Yeah, well, first of all, this is going to be a nail biter. Everything has been pointing in that direction, that this is going to keep a lot of New Jersey political reporters and national political reporters at the edge of their seat on election night. One of the interesting things that I saw this week is there was a Quinnipiac poll that showed the percentages that you showed on screen, but it also showed an enthusiasm gap for the Democrat in the race, Mikie Sherrill. It showed that less Democrats are enthused about turning out for her when you compare that to the Republicans enthused about turning out for the Republican nominee in this race. So it's really going to be a turnout game, and I think that that is one of the reasons it's going to be hard to measure right now who's going to win it.
And, of course, the Republican in that race, Jack Ciattarelli, walking a fine line as it relates to President Trump, who did make some remarkable gains in New Jersey in this past election cycle. What we are seeing is just so fascinating, Michael, because you're seeing this endorsement by former President Obama in the home stretch. We're used to seeing this from Mr. Obama. He likes to come in, make a splash at the end. Yeah. What do you make of the timing? Could it have an impact in the home stretch?
I highly doubt he has much of an impact in either state. He didn't have much of an impact in 2024 in that election. He was really pushing and did, I think, everything he could for Kamala Harris, but I don't think even he was able to really energize Democrats in a way that he once was able to. I think he weighs in very infrequently.
Is that that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Is it about the timing? Is he waiting too late to weigh it?
I think the Obama people must think that they are still able to cast a spell over Democrats in the way that they could back in the mid-2000s. But young people really don't have a ton of fond memories for Obama, and every election leads to a reaction. And the 2016 election was really a reaction to a lot of Obama policies and wokeness. And there's been a big backlash to a lot of the people who felt rather voiceless during the Obama years.
So I want to talk about something I was just discussing with Congressman Don Bacon, Rob. This is in Virginia, this controversy that is swirling around these texts from the Attorney General candidate, Jay Jones, where he called for the Republican state speaker, House Speaker, to be shot using violent language. During this week's debate, he was pressed on that. Take a look.
I am ashamed. I am embarrassed. And I'm sorry. I am sorry to Speaker Gilbert. I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry to my family. And I'm sorry to every single Virginian. I cannot take back what I said, but you have my word that I will always be accountable for my mistakes.
We have seen a window to who Jay Jones is and the way he thinks of people that disagree with him. How can we trust Jay Jones to prosecute an MS-13 gang member, knowing that he asked for an innocent Virginian to get 2 bullets to his head?
Rob, I think the question is, to what extent will this Attorney General's race actually impact the gubernatorial race between Abigail Spanberger and Winsome Earle-Sears?
That's the big question. Obviously, she was down big early polls from the summer, and that shows that race is narrowing as well. And some polls are out showing Jason Miyares has moved ahead of Jay Jones in the Attorney General race. Obviously, Miyares has a record to run on, having served in office for 4 years. The Virginia governor can't, so Sears is in a tougher position, I think, to define herself and what she would do on Glenn Youngkin's coattails. But I agree with everything Michael said, in fact, on his analysis of that.
Can you guys get Congress together, please?
Well, Jay, you didn't see any emotion in Jay Jones in that debate performance. All of the emotion was on Jason Miyares' side. Yeah, it was a poor performance, and I think that's something that's missing from Abigail Spanberger. She had an opportunity to react to Winsome Earle-Sears' challenge, and she failed as well.
You take me to my next question. Abigail Spanberger had the opportunity to call for him to drop out of the race. She forcefully denounced what he said, but did she go far enough? And what do you make of what Rob just said?
She didn't go far enough. And she had a gift-wrapped Christmas came early present for her campaign that could have been her Sister Souljah moment, which refers back to Bill Clinton during the race riots in L.A. in 1992 when he was able to put distance between himself and a radical left that he didn't want to represent himself or the values of the Democratic Party. Abby is going to win, but she really had an opportunity to put that race away by showing the common sense part of the Democratic Party, the moral compass, and leading and showing Democrats that you can have guts and you can disagree with your party and distance yourself and still be a successful candidate. You don't have to always wear the jersey when common sense tells you otherwise.
Rhonda, what has been striking to me is that this Attorney General's race in Virginia has become a national talking point for Republicans. We are hearing about it every Sunday, calling on Democrats to not just denounce Jay Jones, but to call for him to drop out of the race. How do you see this playing out, not just into these elections that we're all preparing for, but beyond that?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch how this one race in a state has sort of blown up and affected other races, and also just affected how Republicans are talking about Democrats and saying that, a little bit of whataboutism, saying that, well, your candidate said this, and then you're also hearing Democrats say, well, the president says a lot of this stuff too. So, I'm not sure where this all goes. I have been paying attention to what voters in Virginia have been saying, and you do hear a lot of them say, yes, Abigail Spanberger was a little too soft. She should have come out the gate decrying this. But they've also been saying that the president says remarks like this, so maybe we give Jones a pass.
Well, Rob, you did hear the vice president when we became aware of these text messages among these young Republican groups, racist, all sorts of awful things that were said, so much so that the groups have now been disbanded in some states. The vice president saying they're just kids. What was really bad was what the attorney general said. Is that problematic?
Well, Kristen, it's interesting because I'm listening to the Bible in the Ear by Father Mike Schmitz, who's a Catholic priest. And yesterday was the book of Sirach, and they were talking about guarding what comes out of your mouth. And so I think that we could all do ourselves a favor by thinking before we put things in writing. And yes, I agree with a lot of what Don Bacon said there. We need to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
10 seconds.
2 Democrats this week made news. Katie Porter, candidate running for governor of California, the attorney general's race. These are 2 Democrats who are examples of public communication and the things not to do. They are case studies in how candidates should not react to crisis and to the press.
All right. Well, we had a lot of headlines to cover, guys. Thanks so much for being here to chew on all of it. Rhonda, Michael, and Rob, great conversation. And thank you all for watching.